welcome back to C1 Novel and Vocab Week 5. Welcome back, and please everyone make sure that you have your Dragons in a Bag novel, and we'll be going over the last few chapters. So let's get started. What are we doing in this video? We'll be going over difficult phrases from the novel, and this is for cultural fluency. By becoming familiarized with different slang and colloquialisms, which means sayings, students will be able to relate to the novel and incorporate and use these phrases to convey and show their ideas more precisely. And today is the final video for Dragons in a Bag, and we'll be going over chapters 11 through 13. So let's get started. Okay, let's go to number 1. Please turn to page 118. 118. The first page of chapter 11. And I'm going to read from the very top, and I'm going to stop at the end of the first chapter. Okay, everybody follow with your finger. I clutch Ma's purse and scan the horizon. Up ahead, there's a bright orange tent with open flaps billowing in the breeze. Beneath it are 3 people. One is sitting on a stool, another is sitting on the ground, and a third is pacing back and forth. I search for Ma's snowy afro, but it is vanishing between the fingers of a woman on the chair. Her own straight black hair is gathered in a single long braid, and her nimble brown fingers are weaving Ma's white hair into tidy cornrows. So for here, if you didn't know what cornrows were, I would like to review it with you. So cornrows are a special way of styling hair. It's when you braid the hair very close to the scalp, which is the skin on the top of your head. And you do this by making small braids that go from the front all the way to the back of the head, like rows on a cornfield. So these braids can be either straight or curved, or they can be simple or even fancy, whichever way that you like to do it. As you can see here in this picture, we have smaller cornrows, and then there are longer ones, or thicker ones as you should say. The word cornrows comes from the idea of the rows of corn in a field, where the braids resemble straight lines from corn plants growing close together. That's why they're called cornrows. When can we use this word then? It's kind of hard for us to do cornrows, but we can try. For picture day, Maria wanted her hair styled in beautiful cornrows with colorful beads at the end. That could be one of our example sentences. Or we can say, Jaden's favorite hairstyle is having his hair in tight cornrows because it keeps his hair neat and tidy for the next day. So this hairstyle can be for girls and boys, depending on if you like it or not. With our hair, it might be a little bit hard because our hair is really slippery and silky. But as you can see here in this picture, they have tight cornrows and there's not any hair sticking out anymore. It's very nice and neat. And in this girl over here, at the end of her cornrows, just different, let's just pretend it was beads. But I'm pretty sure they're just different hair color ties. So cornrows, everyone say cornrows. Good, let's go to the next page on 119. And I'll start at the middle of the paragraph. Let's look at the second indent where it says, well, well, well. Everybody there? If you're not, pause and then play again. Well, 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 look who it is. You certainly took your time, Ma says with a wink. I can only grin because I'm panting. Too hard to speak. With a knife, Ma peels the skin away to reveal flesh that is the same warm golden color. She slices off some fruit, but before eating it, Ma tilts her head to address the woman behind her. I told you he'd figure out how to find me. The boy's smart as a whip. So here, I'm sure you all understand when it says the boy's smart, right? But what if when it says smart as a whip? Why did the author use the word whip here, and what is this idiom? Okay, and that's why I'm here to help you. Smart as a whip. When we say someone is smart as a whip, we mean that they are very clever or really intelligent, like super smart. It's like saying that they can think quickly and solve problems easily. But why is the word whip used here? As you can see here, this man has a whip. A whip is a long, thin tool, as you can see, that makes sharp cracking sound when you snap it. It goes whoosh. So when we say smart as a whip, we're comparing someone's intelligence to how sharp and quick a whip can be. So it's a way of saying that they're quick-minded and super smart. So you're quick as a whip, meaning you're super, super smart. And you can think really quickly on your toes. Something that we learned from the week before. So when can we use this? We can say, Susie's always first to finish all the math problems. She's as smart as a whip because she's always finishing first. Or we can say, Tommy figured out the puzzle in no time. He's smart as a whip. So he was able to solve the whole puzzle very, very quickly. Smart as a whip. And I'm sure all of you who are watching are as smart as a whip because you're watching this video and learning with me. So smart as a whip. Try using it. Here, I've already mentioned in the vocabulary video, but I did want to show you a bit more pictures about it. Okay? Please turn to page 120. And I also want to show you a quick trick. When we don't know how to pronounce a word, what you should do is go to Google and you can type in the word. So I typed in the word, and then some of them will say pronunciation. Pronunciation. Dashiki. Well, I already know how to say it, but just to let you hear. Uh-oh, my volume's down. One more time.
Dashiki.
Dashiki. So say that you're reading the book and you don't know how to pronounce a word, like this word here, because it's the first time seeing it. Go onto Google and write it, and write pronunciation, and then it'll show you this here with the mouth. Okay, so page 120. Let's look at the first indent, the paragraph. The man has stopped pacing and stands with his hands clasped behind his back. He has a shiny brown bald head, glasses, and a white mustache that hides his mouth. He's wearing faded jeans with a hole in one knee and a brightly colored dashiki. Here, we already found out what a dashiki was in our vocabulary video, but I will slightly and quickly go over it again here. So a dashiki is a type of loose-fitting shirt that comes from Africa, like this or like this. It is usually very colorful, as you can see in the pictures, and it has a special design or pattern on them. People wear dashikis for special occasions or just as casual clothing to just celebrate and love their culture. You can think of this as what we have here in Korea, our hanbok. The word dashiki comes from the West Africa, and it means shirt in some African languages. It's made from lightweight fabric and is known for its bright colors. So we can say in a sentence, for the African festival, he wore a dashiki with red, yellow, and green stripes, kind of like with what we have here. These are real dashikis that I found on the internet, but there also are some cartoons like this, where they are also wearing dashikis. Okay? I wanted to show you the pictures and go to the next one, because that was in our vocabulary video, and if you haven't watched that yet, please go and watch it now. Please turn to page 122. Now this next thing, a lot of people say it. A lot. It's a very well-known idiom and phrase that people say from time to time. So let's look. Let's look at the second to last indent where it says trub. Everybody there? Trub steps back so I can let me start again. Trub steps back so I can greet Ma, but I still don't move. I can't. My feet that flew over the dirt road a moment ago now feel like lead. Ma sits on the mat, calmly peeling the golden fruit. I want to throw my arms around her and squeeze her as tight as I can, but right now, she seems harder to hug than a baobab trees. Ma looks at me and frowns. What's wrong, boy? Cat got your tongue? Here, have some of this. Cat got your tongue? Here's a funny picture first. Here's a cat with holding a super long tongue of this man. Can this actually happen? No. Well, and I hope if it does happen in real life that a cat doesn't scratch your tongue like this. So, cat got your tongue. When do we use this? When someone says, cat got your tongue, they're asking why you're not speaking or why you're being so quiet. It's like asking if someone has made you suddenly unable to talk. So the phrase here originates from in a funny way of asking someone, why are they silent? So did the cat steal your ability to talk? So you can always say this when someone's really quiet and they're just not saying anything. You can say, Kimberly, what's wrong? Cat got your tongue? Meaning, why are you being so quiet? Why aren't you talking? So maybe in class time, you're not participating. The teacher can say, hey, Kimberly, cat got your tongue? What's wrong? Can you tell me the answer to number 2? Cat got your tongue? Let's go to page 125 to 126. Sticky Fingers is on page 126, but I wanted to start page 125. Let's start from down here where it says, I kept my promise. Start with me. I kept my promise, sis. Your dragons have come to no harm. It's destiny, Elroy proclaims triumphantly. Magic will find its way back into our world, no matter how hard you try to keep it out, Ma. Actually, Chubb says, I think I know what happened to the last dragon. Nate did say, page 126, that he smelled a thief, and Jax has a little friend with sticky fingers, right? I really don't want to solve another riddle right now, but as soon as Chubb says sticky, I know exactly what he means. Kavita! I shout angrily as if she could hear me. She stole my dragon. So here, even if you didn't know what sticky fingers meant, if you read the next paragraph here, where Jackson is trying to go throughout the riddle, per se, from what Chubb says, he explained it to you. But let me explain it a little bit further. Sticky fingers. As you can see here in this first picture with this purple slime, it's all sticky. And as you can see in the second picture, this person with sticky fingers, not really, is stealing cookies. So, sticky fingers. Let's go over what it means again. When someone has sticky fingers, it means that they like to take things that don't belong to them. It's like saying they might take small items without asking or without paying for them. It's like, it comes from the origin of like when someone's touching something and it's hard to let it go. So they've touched something sticky and it's hard to let go. It's just a funny way to say that they're stealing something. Let me find some example sentences. For example 1, when Sam's candy went missing, his mom said, I think someone with stinky fingers took it. So here in this picture also, this person with sticky fingers is stealing the cookies. And then, let's see, how can we use this in our regular life? Say that you're at MI and your eraser's missing. You can be like, somebody in this class has sticky fingers. Someone took my eraser. But then you're like, oh, it's on the floor. My mistake. Sticky fingers. All right, let's go to page 128. 128. Boop, boop, boop. I lost my page. Let's go to the very top and start from there. I don't want to question Ma, but we can't all fit inside the transporter. Chubb puts his hand on my shoulder and says, I'm going to stay here with Elroy, Jax. You go with Ma and I'll catch up with you later. My heart is already heavy, but now my throat starts to close too. If Chubb is a rolling stone, will I really see him again? I swallow hard and manage to squeak out one word. Promise? So here, my heart is already heavy. Boom, 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 boom. How can our heart be heavy here? Here's a picture to go with. A man carrying a heavy heart. When someone says a heart is heavy, it means that they feel sad or upset about something. It's like saying that their heart feels weighed down because they're feeling a lot of emotions. So it's weighing down, it's heavy because of my sadness or worry. It's a way of describing how someone feels when they're really sad. So we can say, with a heavy heart, we went to my cat's funeral and buried her. It was really sad, isn't it? Here, Jax has a heavy heart because he now has to say goodbye to Trub, and he doesn't know if he's going to see him again. That's why his heart was heavy. Okay? Is there a time when you had a heavy heart? If so, why don't you tell me the next time you see me at MI? And I'll listen. Page 30 or 137, kind of the similar kind of heavy type of thing. Let's go to the middle of page 137 where it says, my name's Jax. It says, my name's Jax, I tell her in my most respectful voice. And I won't let you down, sis. I'm not sure why, but I decided to add, I promise. One of Sis's eyebrows goes up in surprise. A promise in this realm carries real weight, Jax. And it says, it means a lot in my world too, I tell her. Carries real weight. To carry a lot of weight. You guys have your MI backpacks, right? Is it a lot? Is it heavy? Are you carrying a lot of weight there? But here, it doesn't mean it literally. We're talking about it in a metaphorical way. Here, when someone says a promise carries weight, it means that the promises are very important and serious. It's like saying when you promise to do something and it's a big deal and you need to make sure that you keep your word. So here, it comes from the thought that you should not take something lightly. Therefore, this is the opposite of saying it carries real weight, meaning there's a lot of seriousness into this and that it should be taken not in a fun manner, but in a very serious manner. So here, Sis is saying that when Jax promises, she's saying, a promise in this magic world, in this realm, is very serious, Jax. So he is saying, don't worry, I will bring back your final dragon. Trust me. Carries real weight. Here's this man carrying his weight. Page 144. Boop, 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 boop. It says, let's start from the top. Everybody ready? Mama looks embarrassed. Maybe I said too much. We manage with the microwave, she tells Ma. You can't manage without running water, Ma replies. You better come upstairs. Mama doesn't budge. The judge ordered the landlord to turn the water back on within 48 hours. Ma just grunts. Don't hold your breath. Then she coughs a couple of times before saying, listen, Alicia, I know I made a fuss this morning, and I'm sorry for that. You just caught me at a bad time. But I want you to know that you're always welcome here. You and Jessica stay in our old room. It hasn't changed since you left. Don't hold your breath. Meaning we can't really hold our breath for a long time. Can you? Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't hold your breath. Here, why does she say don't hold your breath? This phrase means when someone says don't hold your breath, they're telling you don't expect something to happen soon or at all. It's saying that you shouldn't wait or hope for something because it probably won't happen. So it comes from the idea that holding your breath means that you're waiting for something. Waiting for someone to say breathe. It's saying don't wait. Because here in our story it says the judge ordered the landlord to turn on the water within 48 hours. 48 hours, that's a long time. Do you know how long that is? Yes, you're correct. That's 2 days. So she's saying, I'm just going to go back to my house because, you know, the landlord said that they're going to turn it on. But 2 days without running water is a very long time. So Ma's just saying, don't hold your breath. Don't wait for it because it probably isn't going to happen for a long time. Don't waste your time. And I chose this picture because it looks like he's holding his breath. Page 149. I believe this is the last one, everyone. Ah, so sad. Let's go to the middle where it says Mama. Mama doesn't say anything for what feels like a really long time. Then she scoots closer and puts her arm around me once more. Why don't you tell me what it's like for you in that other world? I open my mouth and say, sure. But suddenly, my stomach growls. No, roars with hunger. So here, it's not really an idiom or colloquialism or anything, but I just thought it was a good quote to just review for a final one, where it says, the stomach is growling. So we say our stomach growls because it makes a noise, like a low rumble. It's like your stomach is talking to you because you're hungry. But here, if it says that, wait, it's not just growling, it's roaring. Meaning, it's not just, it's a really loud sound. And I liked how the author here used a word like growl, which means a slight sound, to roar when you think of like a lion roaring, a much louder sound. So it's fun how the author used these 2 different words to just say that his stomach was growling really loud. It didn't just say, oh, I was so hungry. The author was using a bit of a descriptive and imaginary, like visionary type of phrase for you to understand. Okay? So now we're already done with the final section of Dragons in a Bag. So what do you have to do? As you already know, you have to self-study, read the phrases again, maybe go through the PPT one more time or this video one more time, read out loud, and reread where the novel phrases come from. So why don't you go back before finishing your homework, go back and read these chapters again, and then you can complete your novel homework. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope I see you guys next week, and please make sure that you also watch the vocabulary video.